Whenever someone is asked to make a piece of writing more descriptive, many writers think, no problem, I'll add a bunch of adjectives. Well, that's one way to make your writing more descriptive, but is it the best way? Let's talk about it. Hi, my name is Patricia Charpentier, and welcome to episode 55, where you can find inspiration and useful tips to help you write your life stories. Today, we are looking at bite number 30 from my book, Eating an Elephant, Write Your Life One Bite at a Time. And bite number 30 is titled, Not Just Adjectives, Baby. Adjectives, as you probably remember from school, are words that are used to modify nouns. When time is taken to select good adjectives, it usually works out fine. But adding an adjective shouldn't be your first option when you try to describe something. Try to use concrete nouns to replace a few of those adjectives. This approach also makes the description more specific instead of what you get with generalized adjectives. I'm going to read you an example from bite number 30, and it's a before and after. Okay, so this is the sentence, the before version of the sentence. Bev's lovely, happy, elderly grandmother loved to sing the old-fashioned church hymns she learned as a small, clever child in the beautiful mountains of eastern Tennessee. That sentence carries the weight of 8 adjectives, and the adjectives in that sentence aren't really great to start with. They aren't very specific, and it really doesn't tell a lot about Bev's grandmother. I revised the sentence, and the sentence does tell us more. It has adjectives in it, but they are more specific adjectives, and they give us more and better information. This is another version of that same sentence. Bev's 80-year-old grandmother, whose bright eyes and smooth skin contradicted her chronological age, sang Amazing Grace and the Old Rugged Cross with as much enthusiasm as she did when she was only 5 years old, sitting in the pew of her First Baptist Church in eastern Tennessee. Okay, I'll read that again. Bev's 80-year-old grandmother, whose bright eyes and smooth skin contradicted her chronological age, sang Amazing Grace and the Old Rugged Cross with as much enthusiasm as she did when she was only 5 years old, sitting in the pew of her First Baptist Church in eastern Tennessee. Now we have a better picture. Think about the picture you have in your mind. It's probably a lot more specific. Instead of elderly, we now know Bev's grandmother is 80 years old. Instead of lovely, we know she looks young because of her bright eyes and smooth skin. Instead of old-fashioned church hymns, now we know the names of the songs specifically. Instead of a small, clever child, we learned she was only 5 years old when she learned the songs. Instead of happy, we learned that she sings with enthusiasm. And now we know the name of the church in eastern Tennessee. I hope that gives you a sense of how you can make your sentences more descriptive by choosing nouns instead of adjectives whenever possible. Letting go of vague adjectives, and when adjectives are required, choosing ones that are specific tell the reader much more than you would otherwise. One thing you might want to do when you're editing is circle all of your adjectives in a story you wrote. See if any can be replaced with a stronger noun or at least a more descriptive adjective. Tell us about your experience with adjectives. Are you a writer who naturally uses a lot of adjectives, or are you a more bare bones writer? Do you consciously check your stories for adjectives? Will you start doing that now? Tell us about your experience with adjectives. But remember, adjectives and all, the only way to do this wrong is to not do it at all. If you like what you just watched, sign up to be notified of future vlog posts and upcoming events. Use the buttons down below to share this episode on social media or with a friend you think might enjoy it. So until next time, everybody, happy writing.
If you enjoyed this week's episode, you will love our Life Writers membership. Whether you don't know where to start writing your life stories, have started and stopped many times, or have been writing but want to receive feedback to make your stories better, the Life Writers membership is where you need to be. We have a Get Started roadmap, an extensive library of instructional videos, live events via Zoom, and a supportive and active community. If you want to take the stories that live in your heart and mind and put them onto the page, check out Life Writers at lifewriters.us.